Okay, so today I'm going to talk a bit about the journey from concept to concrete, which is what I call the Cyber Phoenix way, because that's essentially what I do. I take something like a logo idea, a sketch, and make it into a digitized version. I take a concept for a book and turn it into a book. I'll take a concept for a business and turn it into a full running business. And yeah, that's always been a strength of mine. But in parallel, my weakness, or something that's always been a weakness of mine throughout the history of my kind of business existence, has been consistency and execution. So here I am. Consistency and execution. I've never struggled with the concept to concrete, and that's something I really enjoy. So in the past, instead of me pushing through and executing something, putting the work in for years and years and years and years, which is what it's required to grow a business, I would not burn out, but I would do the whole getting it started process. I was powered up to go. That's the funnest part. I'd do the logos, I'd do the website, I'd get it running. And then the kind of fuel that was firing that would just start to simmer down, and then I'd have a new concept and I'd want to turn that into concrete. So that is a strength within business, but it's also my weakness. It's to my detriment because I'm unable, or I was unable, to execute and be consistent enough to grow it to the position that it should be. And I can think of a number of businesses I've done that with. Sometimes the outcome of the business was completely out of my control. Like, for instance, when you sell on a platform such as eBay or Amazon, they have the power to just cancel your account. That happens to a lot of businesses. And then if that's the only medium you use, you're out of business. You don't have a website, or maybe you do have a website, but it doesn't have organic traffic. So you're not driving any customers to that website. Then you'd need to go and go to Google Ads and start promoting ads, and you've never been doing that, so your sales dry up, those kind of things. So some things were out of my control. Other things I didn't have the drive and didn't go through with the execution. So I had a business called Mentor My Child, and that was essentially connecting university students and parents that needed tutors for their children. Perfect way for university students to earn some extra money, and perfect way for parents to get affordable tutors that are still within the system and able to be mentors for their children, not just tutors. And I think that was a really good concept. I got a lot of funding for it, but ultimately what was required of me was for me to go and visit universities, do a lot of flyering, connect with the people that would be doing the tutoring, and hold focus groups and whatnot. And that's where my insecurity set in, and I just didn't push through enough with any of that. Fast forward, somebody else done that, and yeah, that was that. So I'm very, very, very aware of that flaw. Hold on a second. T-shirt's very creased, I know, can't really see. There we go. Only a joker would shuffle on a queen. There, that's that. I said in my videos I'm going to just try and wear my t-shirts. You might catch me slipping one day not wearing my t-shirt, but I'm going to try and wear them as much as I can. So execution, somebody else did it, that's what happened. But anyway, this video, I've already been ranting on for 4 minutes, and this video is supposed to be about the process of self-publishing from concept to concrete, to developing your book, like this one right here. The Tale of the Three Cookie Men. Okay, that's my plug for the episode. Yeah, so starting from the beginning, starting from scratch, you've got a concept, you've got an idea in your head, and you want to turn that into a book. What do you do? I always go to do that. The first thing you do is you write it down. Whether that's on your iPad, on your phone, you write it down. You completely compile it how you'd want it to be. So we're talking about a children's book, so you set it up in terms of how you'd want the pages to be. And that's what I do, because that's the easiest way. That's like the best way, because if you write it all in a big chunk, you're going to have to figure out the scenes afterwards. So you're going to write it, it's going to be ready to split up, and your pages are going to be organized. And then what you do is you create a storyboard. If I've got an image, I'll put it up there in that area there. Be interesting if I don't have one. It's just gonna be blank. TV is. Yeah. So you storyboard, and your storyboard is gonna be exactly how you'd want your pages to be. And don't worry if you can't draw it. It's not a big deal. You just need to at least be able to sketch it out so you know exactly what scene is going with what image. What image is going with what scene. Yeah. So once you've done that, what do you do next? You've got that, you've got your storyboard, and you've got your actual text. So the storyboard isn't going to be the same as the book that you've written. It's going to just break down what's happening in each of the scenes. This storyboard will be used for yourself if you're illustrating it yourself, or to give to an illustrator, a freelancer that you might have found, or just to gather images that you might find. You can get. I'll talk a bit about the different ways you'll illustrate in the end. But yeah, so your storyboard will be for the purpose of putting the book together. What you need to do in the time that you've put your book together in your head, or not in your head, when you've sketched it out and you've got it all down, is you need to sign up to Amazon KDP. It's fairly straightforward. I'm not going to go and do a how to do that. You just need to go to Amazon, Google Amazon KDP, make your account, put in all your tax information. One thing that I don't know how it is in the US, but in the UK, to put in the tax information, make sure you put in your NI number. Make sure you put in your NI number. If you don't put in your NI number and you leave that bit blank, it's going to work out a tax percentage for you, and it goes with 30%. That's a lot. Mine, for some reason, it worked out as 0, so otherwise it will be taking 30% more out of what you're supposed to get, and you don't want that. You don't want that. So yeah, so make sure you put in your NI number, your national insurance number, when you sign up to Amazon KDP. So once you're all signed up, your account is ready, and it's looking at you and it's saying upload some books, upload a paperback, upload an ebook. So now you're under pressure to go and make the book. So how do you make the book? You've got your idea, you've got your storyboard. Now if you're illustrating it yourself, you'll probably want to use something like, well, I use Procreate. I use my iPad. I've got my Apple Pencil, and I've got my iPad, and this is all not all I use, but this is what I use: my iPad and my Apple Pencil, and that's how I do my illustrations on Procreate. So you'll buy the app, or you'll use Photoshop. Photoshop is been around forever. You can do everything you can do on Procreate on Photoshop and more. Photoshop is more like Procreate plus Affinity, which is another app on the iPad, and put in one. Affinity is really good though. But yeah, so as long as you've got it, again, if you're doing the illustrating, you can't just use your mouse and draw it on Photoshop, of course. You'd need something like a USB interface, a USB drawing pad. So obviously this is an Apple trackpad, it's not a USB drawing thing, but it would be kind of like this. So you'd have it plugged into your computer, you have Photoshop open, and you draw on the pad and you see it on your screen. So that's a cheaper way of being able to illustrate your own stuff without buying an iPad Pro, because they're quite expensive. Everybody doesn't have that kind of startup cost to get going. So you just buy a cheap USB interface. They sell them in China, AliExpress or eBay, Amazon, wherever you go you can get a decent one. What else is there? So yeah, so you've got, let's say you've got Photoshop, you've got your tablet or your drawing pad. You might need, or you might not need, I use Affinity Publisher. You might need a software to compile it as a PDF once you're done, because you will be submitting a high quality PDF. That's your manuscript. That's your manuscript. So once you put your book together and you've got all of your pages, there'll be individual files on Procreate. I'm literally exporting. Oh, I export it as one, but they're individual pages, and then I export it as one PDF, best quality, and upload that to KDP. You put in all your information, all the metadata. You'll do your cover. Your cover needs to be good. That goes without saying, but your cover needs to be good. Your cover needs to be high quality, and you'll upload that separate as a high quality PDF as well. Once you've submitted the book, I don't know if I'm skipping ahead too much, but I guess if you are watching this and you want me to break anything specific down in more detail, then I'll do that. But once you've pretty much got your book together, uploaded it, you're going to set the pricing. I've said in another video, if you want to get your proofs and you want to get them quicker, then set the price very, very low. If it gets approved, order it, and then set the price high. So go back, edit it, and up the price as soon as you can. If it gets declined, they'll have a reason for it. So particularly if you're choosing a book with bleed, you need to make sure you've accounted for the space, the extra margin space. They have all the information on KDP. Although I didn't find that useful myself and I had to go looking and had to go back and forth with them, they do have the information there. It might work for you. If you choose a book with no bleed, then obviously you still have to take in margin into account, but it does give you some guidance if something is out of place before you submit it. I had no trouble with my books that had no bleed. They were accepted first time, every time, everything was in line. You submit it, you price it, you get your, and that's it. It's so simple. Like I can do a long-winded thing, a long-winded detailed account of every step you gotta take, but it's really unnecessary. If you know like the basics about something like Photoshop, PDFs, then you can do it. I had no idea what a manuscript was. Actually, the first time I uploaded my book, I went and I took the text out and I just put the text in like a Word document, because the word manuscript just sounded like something that didn't, I don't know, it didn't sound like the PDF with all the images. So I uploaded an actual, just a raw document with the text of the book. It was 1 page long, and they were like, okay, this is how your book's gonna look on Kindle, and it was literally the cover and then just this raw text, and I was like, what? So yeah, if you know the basics of what those other things are, then it is really straightforward. Again, I can't speak for Ingram Spark, I've never used it, but KDP is very, very straightforward. That is it, guys. That is what the video is about. The from step one, from the concept, storyboarding, getting your illustration. I kind of missed out. Okay, sorry. I don't know. This is new to me. I missed out your other options if you're not doing the illustration yourself. I didn't want this video to be this long. Whatever. So if you're not doing the illustrations yourself, you have some other options. You have the option to hire a freelancer. Now, I said before, you can use Upwork. Is Odesk still about? I don't know. If you just type in freelancer or freelance designer, any of those sites with like where the company is the middleman, like Fiverr even. Fiverr's kind of there compared to other places, but it is still very efficient, and I've used Fiverr for a lot of things. But yeah, so you'll be using one of those companies. You'll find a good illustrator. They've got loads of stars, and you talk to them about your project, and then they make you an offer. It's usually going to be an amount per page. So again, make sure your storyboards are ready and you know how many pages you want your book to be. And your book needs to be a minimum of 24 pages. A minimum of 24 pages. When I made Daddy and I had 10 pages. And I had to obviously do the, is it 10 pages? I think I had 10 pages. 10 pages. I think it's 10 pages. And obviously I was doing it bilingual, but my aim initially was to do it bilingual, English above and English at the top and Swahili at the bottom. But I ended up having to do image, text, image, text, image, text, and then a separate section for image, text in Swahili. So half of the book is English, half of the book is Swahili. That was not my plan initially, but because they had a 24 page limit, it was either that or pay the illustrator for another 10 pages and try and extend the story somehow, and it just didn't make any sense. It was supposed to be a short bedtime story, so I had to find a way around it. So now I make sure my books are about 30 pages long, and then and in addition to those 30 pages, you've got the copyrights page. Everything counts as a page. So the copyright page, the first title page, so you've got the cover, and then the title page, which is like the same text, the title and your author name, and then the contents, if you've got then the copyright page and contents if you've got contents, and then you've got an extra page you can put at the back, which is your other books or your author biography or stuff like that. Yeah, so again, you'd be finding a freelancer, you'd send them your storyboard, and you don't have to send them the whole book. I wouldn't send them the whole book. You send them your storyboard and the breakdown, and this is why I said you break it down. You don't put your whole story next to each scene, you just break it down. And literally say, in this scene, the snowman is melting and the kids look scared. That's all. And then your story will say, one day the kids came outside and the snowman was melting and they were horrified. Yes, and then the third option would be to find images online. They have to be, what's the word? Not DRM free. What is the word? They have to be royalty free. They have to be royalty free. So you can pay for a service. You can pay, I can't think of any companies off the top of my head, but you can pay for a service where you can get images that are very easy to edit. So SVG images, you can edit, you can move things around, but then bear in mind, you can't do that in Photoshop. You'll have to get something like Adobe Illustrator, and then the costs start to add up. But you can find places that have just pure royalty free images. The only issue with that is they're going to be rinsed out. Everybody would have taken them and used them to make colouring books or just basic. I don't know, they're not going to be the best stock. Oh, stock images is another option. You can go to something like, what's it called? Just drawing blanks today. It's the stock place. It's the iStock photo. I can't remember, but you can go to one of those stock sites and you can get your images there. You can get some clip art. Again, those things are going to cost you, so bear that in mind. If you're trying to keep costs low, then you're looking at essentially, I don't know if you want to go the dodgy route and get the dodgy Photoshop. If you want to go and try and buy a second-hand one, you're gonna Creative Cloud is quite expensive. It works out quite expensive. I don't have Creative Cloud. And you're going to get the USB interface, and you're going to keep your costs really low and just get it done. Essentially, you start selling some books. If you make a decent book, you start selling some books, and then you can upgrade your software. Just keep putting the money back in and get some better tools. I think my food is burning, so I've said the 3 ways that you can get the illustrations done. I said the process from start to finish. And if you want me to break anything down, you know I can talk, so I'll break it down happily. And if you've got any questions, just drop them in the comments below. I'm gonna go get my food now.